Mini Monet came along, and, you know, Mercedes, I will have to say, even though she's warming up to her.
Boston! Say hello to your CEO!
I already said that.
I probably would say Toni Storm.
Is getting a wrestling contract how I imagine it?
It's all very official, you know. Of course, when I got it, I was like, yeah, right away.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Not a doubt for Harley Cameron. Full-on drive. Takes down the right. Harley Cameron.
I remember being too scared to take a front bump.
Feel to keep it going, yes.
When I moved here at the time, I had no idea what I was going to do. I couldn't work. I left my career. I didn't have any company interested in me to get a visa. I will say Toni is literally the most kind, approachable, wonderful boss.
Was there a moment for you that you really felt like you won the audience over?
When I started having matches and people were like cheering my feel the wrath.
What's the best part of being Harley Cameron?
Oh my gosh, that's a loaded question to start. The best part? You know what? I will say I do like being myself and like not like worrying too much about like not having to be silly. You know what I mean?
You seem like you're you.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I would say a lot of people would say that I think what you see on TV is me times like 1,000. Yeah, just like an amped up version of myself, really.
Did you ever think that you'd be able to bring all these different traits of your actual personality into what you're doing now in wrestling?
I had no idea that I could do any of this really when I started wrestling. I definitely was, when I first started, really thinking about who I could be in the world of wrestling. I think overthinking it in a big way. And it wasn't until that I had complete freedom and it was on my own that it kind of organically just like allowed me to do the things I did externally. So it was cool to be like, oh shit, I can do the things that I like and bring it into this world, you know?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
What was your first impression when you were running the ropes, you're taking bumps? Was that something that you thought you wanted to do?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be honest, when I started, I was thinking, oh, I can do this. It's going to be great. And I still remember my first day in wrestling school, which is at Flatbacks Wrestling in Orlando. Shout out Breeze and Spears. I remember being too scared to take a front bump. And they were kind of looking at me like, ugh. And I was like, but my chest is so gigantic, it's going to hurt. And for the first week, I was like, I don't think I can do the front bumps, guys. Like,
that's just going to be my thing.
Literally. And then I look back at how embarrassing that is. But that's how like timid I was when I first started. And I had a rude awakening. I thought, shit, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, so I definitely went in with high hopes and then lost my confidence very quickly. And then, just kind of had to just push myself out of the comfort zone, really.
What was that drive home? Were you dead tired? Were you, I really need to push through this?
Yeah, it was a different kind of, like, anyone that's done it, like, will tell you it's just so different to anything I've ever done. I've done sports my whole life. Like, I was a dancer and I did, surfing. I did bodybuilding. Like, I've done, like, a lot of stuff. I played soccer for, like, 10 years. And nothing compares to this. The, like, athleticism required is insane. And I definitely went home and was, like, kind of shocked. But, like, excited and wanting to do it. But I definitely was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done.
When did you really start getting a hang of it?
It took me a long time, to be honest. I remember, so Flatbacks has like an 8-week fundamentals course. And I was very far behind by the time the 8 weeks was done compared to a lot of the people, I think. But again, I think it's because I was timid. So,
are there a lot of other females in there with you?
In my class at the time, there was one other girl, and actually she's killing it, Kiana James. Her and I were in wrestling school together. So, we were there from the get-go, and she's like a freak of nature athlete. She was a former gymnast. So I definitely was like, I suck compared to her because, she was backflipping and doing crazy stuff. And I was like, well, I can't do a front bump, So doing it with her, I was like, I suck. But, she's also just incredible. And it took me a little bit longer to pick it up than she did, that's for sure.
Is there something that you learned in training that you really just fell in love with? Was it like getting on the top of the ropes? Was it really figuring out the chemistry with your partner?
The most satisfying feeling was getting to a point of comfortability where it became fun. When I was learning, there was a lot of frustration and like, I look back and I would leave class feeling defeated a lot. And even at the very beginning, I used to get quite worked up, and go home sometimes crying, thinking I can't do it. And then eventually when my confidence came and the reps came and I just was training, I started to have fun. you know, and it was like just a thrill like you can't compare or explain. And, you know, it's why I love it now, and it's why I'm so obsessed with it, is there's nothing in the world like that feeling. So when it became fun was like this nice accomplishment feeling, you know.
Did you watch a lot as a kid?
I did when I was younger with I've got a lot of siblings, but I have one little brother, and he and I kind of grew up together, and we would watch. We lived in like this tiny little country town, and I still have like memories of us like pretending like to wrestle in the living room, and he'd always pretend to be the Undertaker. So yeah, definitely grew up watching it. And then, you know, you get in your teenage years, and for me, I grew out of watching it in those years, and it wasn't until I came back to America that I kind of like fell in love with it again.
Yeah, so you came to America on a visa, or you didn't have the visa?
No, I came to America with nothing. So I couldn't even work here. I literally came here with a hope and a dream. I was like, I just want to get to America and I'll figure it out. So when I moved here at the time, I had no idea what I was going to do. I couldn't work. I left my career. I didn't have any company interested in me to get a visa, but I knew if I came here that like I'd be in the land of the possibilities, you know? So I came here, and the first thing I ever did actually was the hotel where I was staying at, there was like a brochure for a rock show, and I went into the rock show, and it was an impersonation show, and I went in there and I just said to them, hey, I want to perform here, and they were like, it's an impersonation show, who do you impersonate? And I was like, Christina Aguilera and Lady Gaga. And they were like, oh, okay, like you can audition. And I was like, shit. And I went to Spirit Halloween, bought a costume. They had a piano and stuff, and I went and just did some Gaga songs. And they were like, yeah, sure, you can start like this week. And then I was like, well, you can't pay me. That's the thing, because I can't work legally, but I can volunteer. And they were like, hell yeah. So I just like dove into that, and I was a Lady Gaga impersonator randomly for the beginning of my time in America.
So are you just living off your savings being here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then it became like the journey of how do I make this work? You know, because it's really not hard to get a job in America, like when you're a foreigner. Like you have to have someone like be a petitioner when you get a visa. So they basically have to like decide, okay, we're going to invest in you, and we're going to like give you employment. So like my journey here was pretty difficult at the beginning, you know.
What was the American dream like as an Australian?
It's honestly like it is everything that it sounds like. And I say that in the way of growing up in Australia, you always want like these big, amazing things to happen. And we watch movies, and it seems so surreal because everything's so big and different here. Like, it's like, I can't explain it. Like Australia's really small compared to here in so many ways. And it just feels like I'm living in a movie still. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
What was the biggest culture shock coming here?
This sounds so weird, but like one of the biggest things that made me fall in love with America is like, I remember going to like a sporting game. I can't remember what it was. I think it was basketball or something. And I remember you guys singing the national anthem, and everyone was like so proud, and like just like the energy was like electric. And in Australia, growing up, and most Aussies will tell you this, you know, when we have to sing the anthem, everyone's like, oh, Australia, and it's not like a thing people enjoy doing. It's weird. We have a weird mentality with like that kind of thing. And I came here and like was just surrounded by like tens of thousands of people who just all like seemed to have this like common love for their country, and they were so energetic, and like the sporting energy was wild. And I was just like, oh, this is cool. It's cool to be like proud of who you are here. In Australia, we kind of make fun of it. We joke a lot. So it was cool to come here and see such crazy passion and energy with that. And you guys have a lot of that in like sporting and like all kinds of things like that. You guys like do everything times 100, and like the production and the feeling and the energy so big.
Everything's huge.
Yeah, it really is.
Over the top.
Yeah.
Growing up, I just picture Australia as the outback. Were you there, or were you more city?
So when I was really little, I was in a tiny country town called Alstonville. Like the high school there, like literally was like on a farm. And then it wasn't until I was a teenager that I moved to the Gold Coast area. And that's more like city beach kind of stuff happening. But where I originally came from was like, I think a population of like less than 2,000 people. So
how many people are in your high school?
Oh God, I don't even know. Like not many. Like it was like, what I'm telling you, we had a main street, and on that main street there was literally like a sign that said butcher, pharmacist, hairdresser, and there was like one grocery store, one bank, and that was like it. And for the majority of my childhood, like we didn't even have above a 2-story building there. So it's crazy like thinking how I'm here now, because I'm like thinking about where I came from, and I'm like, oh, it's still the same little town, you know?
So growing up in a small town, did you even have ambitions that there was more than that?
I think when I got older and I went to the Gold Coast and I like went to high school there, and I started getting into like music with like bands in school and stuff, I definitely always thought I really want to move to America one day and like do something bigger than what we can do in Australia.
And you like those emo bands?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love like Paramore and Fall Out Boy.
Did you like Gym Class Heroes?
That take a look at my girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
He's coming over tomorrow.
Oh shit! No way.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, I actually love that song. Yeah.
How do you stumble upon that stuff there?
Like the genre of music, or
Yeah.
it's
That was like pretty small, like niche over here.
so I feel like they had that really like big hit, which was that Girlfriend song. So I think that America flows into Australia. Like I feel like the stuff that's big here or that pops off kind of would always come to Australia. You know what I mean? So like we know the biggest artists, but I would say the majority of Australian artists don't really get found in America, or like roles reversed, if that makes sense.
Are there a lot of like Australian rock bands there?
I feel like there's a lot of Australian like celebrity that I came here and thought, oh, you guys don't even know who these people are. And then in Australia, like that's like, oh my God, if I saw them in the street, you'd stop. And then over here, it's like, oh shit, they don't even know we exist over here, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So
it's so far away.
yeah,
for us.
it is. And then like also like again, and it was eye opening, like having shows like, you know, Australia's Got Talent or Idol or whatever it is, and realizing, oh, if you win those shows, that's like the epitome of like making it and entertainment. And then when I came here, I realized, oh shit, like if you win those shows and you're a big deal here, like it most of the time doesn't transpire globally. Whereas America, that like, that's where like when you do something in entertainment, it seems to be like globally recognized for the most part. Right. Yeah, America's like a big influence, I think, like to like countries like Australia.
Do you know Harry Jowsey?
No.
Oh, Too Hot to Handle. He's an Aussie.
Too Hot to Handle? Oh, is that like a reality show?
Yeah, you're not a fan.
I watch a lot of South Park.
South Park.
Yeah, I watch South Park. I watch Seinfeld. I watch Rick and Morty. That's pretty much it. I fall asleep every night to Seinfeld.
The old episodes?
Yeah.
Family Guy?
I love Family Guy. Yeah. I like stuff like that. I like really childish, inappropriate, crude humor.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I like cartoons a lot.
Were you doing the fitness stuff over there?
Yeah. I did bodybuilding for years over there, actually. Like I was obsessed with it. I think I competed nearly for 3 years straight, back to back without a break. So like bodybuilding and fitness was like a really big part of my life for a really long time.
What level were you competing in?
We have different federations in Australia. We do have different federations in Australia to America, but some of them are similar. Like
Bikini.
Yeah. I was in bikini, but the federations that you guys have in America, we have like different ones. Like my first show was, it was called Muscle Mania, I think it was. And that was a federation that's not recognized over here. But then I did like NABA, which I know is like over here. But yeah, I was just obsessed with like bodybuilding and stuff for a while.
And then that just translates right into wrestling.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when I started wrestling, I thought, well, it seems like you need to be like, I knew I had that like strict dedication in me because I did that. And then I came over here and tried this and I was like, it's nothing alike. Wrestling is far harder than what I used to put myself through to do those shoes. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
So how do you find your way into AEW?
I basically was in Orlando and had the opportunity to do a taping at the Dark shows when they were at Universal, the AEW Darks. So I was there as an extra. And then Spears was my coach at the time. It communicated that they were doing a new group and put me in touch with QT Marshall, who they were kind of like looking for a girl to be in this group, which was the QTV. And I know that they were considering a few different people, but I got bought in. I got to cut some promos. I got to have a match. And they kind of decided that I was the person for the role. So honestly, like if you had told me that I was going to end up in AEW, like I would never have believed it because I knew that like there wasn't like a system there to like learn and train like as other federations like do have. So I was like, shit, like you go there and it's like business. You've like got to be ready and you've got to be for the most part established. So I definitely am lucky because I got a huge opportunity. And I do think there was like for the most part in our company, you have to be an established, known wrestler. Like, so I came in not that. So I was very lucky.
Are you the kind of person that gets nervous before you're about to cut the promo? Or do you already know what you're going to do?
Promos Never. Like I still get nervous wrestling always, which I love because it's like an adrenaline rush. Anything with like a camera or like a microphone, I feel pretty calm and still with. But it's only because I did entertainment like for so long. That's like my comfort zone, you know.
So if we throw a guitar in your hands, completely normal, completely fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but if like I still to this day like I get butterflies before every match, but it's the best feeling in the world. And that's why I love it so much, and it's also why I kind of got for a little bit like I didn't fall out of love with it, but I became very like complacent with singing. Like I didn't get nervous to sing anymore, and I kind of missed that adrenaline rush, and I still get that with wrestling. It's really cool. Yeah, so I used to feel like so nervous when I sung, and then I think after like doing it for like 15 years, you're like, okay, well, I know what I'm doing now.
What were the biggest crowds you were performing in front of?
Gosh, I've done some pretty cool stuff. I've gotten to sing like at the NHL games in Canada, so that was a pretty huge crowd. I've sung in Vegas with like, God, I'm gonna drop some names right now.
Please.
But I got to sing with Boys to Men. I got to sing with Joey Fatone from NSYNC, with Dee Snider.
How cool.
Yeah, so like I got to do some really cool stuff with some really cool people, and then like obviously in front of huge crowds like that. So yeah, tens of thousands of people. Yeah, but I always found it like more nerve-wracking in an intimate setting. Arenas, when you sing, I feel like is such a calming thing for me, but like if it was
calming?
Like yeah, but because I love it, that's like my happy place. But I feel if I walked into like an audition room where it's like a judge of like 3 people and I was singing, that's where I'd feel like a little bit like, okay, here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're signed to AEW.
Yes.
You're in the first days of in your locker room.
Yes.
What are you thinking going through seeing all the other talent?
I was very nervous. And also there was this little voice in the back of my head kind of thinking, I don't deserve to be here. I was around all these amazing, established, like incredible athletes that had really busted their ass and grinded a lot longer than me. And a part of me was kind of initially a little bit of self-doubt. But everyone was honestly just so lovely from the get-go and so kind. And the environment there was just so nice to walk into that I immediately started to have fun. And then like it made me think, I'm here now. I just need to like bust my ass and prove why I belong, So mixed emotions for sure. But I will say it was very welcoming.
When did you start really feeling comfortable back there?
I definitely felt comfortable immediately in a sense that the faction that I was in with QTV at the time, everyone in that group was so awesome. And like the boys in that group, QT, Solo, Hobbs, they were all just really great to work with and like kind of took me under their wing. QT was great and like, made sure that I didn't feel like freaked out or overwhelmed. So I felt pretty comfortable right away. It took me a while to find my feet in the locker room. Like for a while, I kind of would, I guess, keep to myself a little bit because I just didn't want to like make a wrong first impression. So it was nerve wracking, but the women are like so nice. So everyone was cool.
That's so insane. You came here with nothing and got to where you are.
Yeah, it's funny. I like definitely pinch myself and think like, shit, like it worked out, because it's scary coming here not knowing what's going to happen. And also like I left like a really great career in Australia. I had a full-time like career and like in theater, and I had my family all there and my friends all there, my whole life there, and I kind of came into the unknown, so it was kind of scary.
Is getting a wrestling contract how I imagine it, at like a long table and there's lots of papers and you get to sign everything, or is it just a DocuSign?
No, you get real contracts like given to you. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you've got to. It's all very official, So of course when I got it, I was like, yeah, right away.
Yes,
absolutely. Holy shit. But yeah, no, everything's got to be done the right way. Where it's like it's a huge entertainment brand, so like there's a lot of like things you got to like sign, dot the I's, cross the T's, all that stuff. Yeah, so it was all very exciting, like to get that physical contract for sure.
What's the average week like for an AEW star?
It varies depending on a lot of things, but for the most part, we will travel on a Tuesday, film on a Wednesday, travel Thursday, travel Friday, film a Saturday, travel Sunday. So,
are you used to that travel life?
I am now, yeah. I'm generally, and that's if we film the shows on a Wednesday and Saturday, which we usually do. So I'm usually, my day home, like full day, everything home is usually on a Monday. But then in between, like if I land on a Thursday, I'll usually land and like if I've got training on at Flatbacks, I'll go train. on a Monday too, when I have my day off, I'll usually go train at the AEW ring. So like my life is very much, my job is my life. Yeah. It's all I want to focus on right now. So it's a lot of traveling, training, working, but like it's very fun. It's a very exciting life. But yeah, I don't do much anymore. I just hang out with my dogs and wrestle.
So your home life is just you hanging out literally at home?
Yeah, and I don't really have much time at home, to be honest. It's a lot of go, but I go crazy if I'm like in the house for too long, so it's great. It works.
How long do you spend at the gym?
So my personal routine is I wake up and go to the gym first thing in the morning. So everything is always the same. If I'm on the road or at home, I'll wake up, train, get that out of the way.
This part's so fascinating to me because you were so fitness. Do you do pre-workout?
I don't like the taste of it.
So you don't do any caffeine?
Oh, I do a lot of caffeine. Yeah. I like the energy drinks just for the taste of them. Mm-hmm. But I'll have coffee and I'll have a pre-workout, but I swear it doesn't give me energy. I just like the taste. I don't really drink the drink and feel buzzed.
You don't?
No. Like, I don't know if I'm desensitized or if I just have a lot of natural energy that I'm like whatever, because I purely drink the drink for the taste and not for the, the sensation, if that makes sense. So,
do you do any like creatine or post-workout?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I do creatine. Post-workout, I just do a protein shake. But I have like a million vitamins every day. I'm very like diligent with my healthcare routine. Yeah. So fitness, I also studied fitness and I was a trainer and I studied nutrition as well too.
Yeah. You're a certified nutritionist.
So like I'm very, like diligent with sticking to that because I just like know the importance of it. Yeah.
What's the most important supplement to take?
Oh God. I mean, that's such a loaded question.
Let's say for muscle growth.
I think creatine is really important. And I also like live by magnesium as well too. I think if someone said to me like, if you can only take a few things, I'd be like, well, I'd take a multivitamin, I'd take creatine, I'd take protein, and I'd probably take magnesium. And those are probably my go-tos.
I need to take all that.
You need to take it all. Yes. I have like a little like I have like pills that I take on the road with me every week. And I think I take like 15 a day.
Is it hard to get all your workouts in when you're on the road?
Yes. I will say it's funny. Like I need to be like, it's good if you plan ahead and you figure out like where the gyms are and everything like that.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I like to. But
it's just so hard because you're not even from this country.
Yeah, but I'm used to it now. I feel like it's funny. I have like 5 different gym memberships because we travel so much. So I know they'll be like this gym in this state or this gym here and there. So like I have so many gym memberships and then that way you can go to most of them when you're on the road. But it's the trickiest thing I think is balancing like gym work with in-ring work because that cardio for ring work is like so insane. So you really have to take into account like if you're going to do like, like for example, I would never train legs the day before a wrestling match,
How come?
Just because if I'm training them heavy enough, they'll be fatigued and then it'll affect my match.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm still finding the sweet spot of balancing that. But usually when I'm on the road now, like I'll make sure I don't train too heavy the day before a match. And then that way I just know that I'm not going to be like, sore and with like DOMs or something in the match because that sucks. I've done that before.
So when you're doing training during the week,
mm-hmm.
do you have a routine or schedule of what you're doing that day? Or do you go in and it's kind of like, what do you want to work on?
Yeah, I try to do 3 lower body, 2 upper body days a week.
Uh-huh.
So I usually do I'll isolate train my legs. So I'll do like.
Oh, sorry. For wrestling.
Oh,
training.
for wrestling?
Yeah.
The training depends on like who's hosting the training really. So like, for example, like some training sessions that you do, like it might be like a lot of drills mixed with like matches, or it could just be like specifics, like spots and so on and so forth. So, for example, when I go to flatbacks, like they're very, very big on like, the in-ring like drills. So like we will literally do like 20 minutes of round robin cardio stuff, and then we'll do like chaining in the middle while people are doing like up and overs, and then like it's like circuit training, but it's so good because then when you have a match, your body's like conditioned for it. And then sometimes other training will be just like like going in there and like having matches and then like analyzing them and stuff. So it depends who's like hosting the training. Everyone has a different style.
Do you ever get in your head when you're out there performing?
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like looking out at the crowd. Someone says you suck.
I feel like when I first started, especially because I was a heel for so long, that I would at first I was kind of like, oh, shit, I'm not used to like everyone hating me. But then like again too, then like it becomes fun, and going out there, it's like a rush and everything like that. So it definitely became like enjoyable. Like it's nice seeing people feel that way and going, oh, I'm evoking an emotion in you. This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to be a baby face or a heel?
Oh gosh. I mean, I love it all, to be honest. Yeah, I love it all. I feel like when I started training, my coach said to me, he was like, you won't be a heel. You don't have a bad bone in you. He's like, you just laugh around and dick around all day. So I think people might think that I'm better at being good, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty like in real life, just kind of like happy going. But I think that it's good to know you can challenge yourself to do everything, you know?
How does the guitar come in? Was that your idea to bring that into it?
Gosh, I'm trying to think how the guitar came in. I think that honestly the door opening for that really was, I did RJ City's AEW show, and he got me to bring my guitar on it, and then we kind of discussed things that I did on that show, and it was kind of like in that moment that like some of, I guess, the producers and the people who were at my company were like, oh shit, you do this other stuff. Like, why have you never like thought about bringing that in? And I kind of was like, well, I didn't know if I could, or like what the process is and everything. And then I just realized, oh, I could like capitalize on doing stuff other people aren't doing, you know? So I was lucky enough to have people see me do it in that first interview that I did with him, and then be interested and go, why aren't we capitalizing on these things, you know?
I mean, all that stuff is what makes you so fun to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there, even with the puppet,
Yeah.
was that your idea to bring that in?
So I did I did a post on Twitter, I think, once with one of my puppets, because I found out about Cameo, and I was like, what's this Cameo thing? And then I was like, well, maybe the people would want a message from the puppet. So I did this thing, and then everyone was like, oh, you do ventriloquism, blah, blah, blah. And then I started doing more videos with my puppet. And and then obviously like Minnie Monet came along, and, you know, Mercedes, I will have to say, even though she's warming up to her, she did like, you know, I think she had an interest for the puppet. I don't think she want to admit it right now, but you know, she has allowed me to a degree to have mini Mercedes there.
I can see a world where they get along.
I think they get along behind closed doors. I think she's warming up to her, you know.
Yeah. What would winning a title mean for you?
It just would be a full circle feeling of achievement in the way of going, okay, I've like done enough to reach the pinnacle. And I think that that's something that everyone, you know, wants to experience at some point. But I think that definitely represents, you know, like ultimately like working so hard and achieving things and reaching the top of where you can. So it's definitely in my mind for the future. Yeah. So I don't know how far away, but we'll see.
Does your brother think it's insane where you are now?
Yes, he's always like, what? He sends me clips, and he's like, this is insane. Because like, again, we used to like play wrestler when we were little, and
Who
like,
are you?
I was obsessed with John Cena, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And yeah, he sends me clips of myself, and he's like, what's happening? This is wild. Or like my whole family will kind of do that. So it's a nice feeling. And then also it makes me go like, take a step back and go, oh yeah, shit, this is kind of cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
If you were a little kid watching AEW now,
Yeah.
who do you think your favorite would have been?
Gosh.
Besides you.
No, I wouldn't say me anyway. I probably would say Toni Storm. Yeah, I find her, she's just amazing at everything she does. And yeah, I love everything she does. And I think she's just like so unique and so talented. And I think that that's something a lot of people like want to see and connect with. And I think no matter what age that I watch her in awe now, so I can imagine feeling that way if I was younger too.
I always love the big body guys. So like Brian Cage's physique.
Yeah.
A tank.
Yes. Oh yeah, Brian's huge.
I love that.
Yeah, he's like, it's funny too because he's the nicest guy ever. And
Literally a teddy bear.
yeah, like exactly, like the biggest like hulking looking dude, and he's like just like
Can I grab the door for you?
literally that's like what he's like. He's very kind, very nice person. Yeah.
So do you appreciate somebody like him who can stay that physical, like while
Yes.
being on the road all the time?
It's so difficult to. I actually, it's funny. I was literally thinking the other day, like, holy crap, it's so hard to stay on top of your shit. Because you're traveling a lot. You're like flying dehydrates you. It's hard to get food at the airports. Like
Even you're at Coachella this past weekend in the desert.
yes, exactly. It's like one of those things where you're like, if you prep it, you can stay on track. And he's for example someone who's very diligent with that. But a lot of the guys are. That's why they look the way they do. Is it's like it's all about preparation and like remembering. Like if you don't plan, what is it? If you don't, God, what's the saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's it. It's like
deep.
if you're not going to be ready for it, then it's like you're going to have a shit week of eating. But we have catering, obviously, and we always have like chicken and broccoli and asparagus and stuff. So if you want to stay in shape, it's available to do so.
Is AEW catering amazing? Because I picture it being phenomenal.
I mean, to be fair, I try and just stick to the healthy
plain
stuff.
basic?
Yeah. They always have a lot of exciting stuff, and then I think like, oh, I don't want to eat that because if I eat that, I'll go vomit in this ring, there's a lot of stuff that I want to like eat, and then I'm like, if I get like kicked or hit and like I've eaten like a burrito is probably not the best idea.
What's you're gonna have a really physical match. Is there anything that you have to do to prepare yourself for it that day?
Everyone's I think's got their own like personal routines. Me personally, without doubt, every morning will like have the same thing. I'll always eat like egg whites and chicken, have some liquid IV, and
You're trying to eat clean and light.
Always, yeah. I've been like that with performance. Always, I kind of like eat really light on the days that I'm performing in the morning, and then pick it up later.
And then do you have to do anything like even like an hour before to try and psych yourself up?
I feel like I definitely like to, when we're in like the hair and makeup like chairs, that's my like zone out time where I like to just like sit and like breathe and think and just be calm. So I definitely that's my one time as a person that I like peace and quiet, is like I need like that like quiet zone before I go out there. Otherwise, usually I'm like,
Do you listen to podcasts or anything to try and get into that state?
no, I'm not a podcast listener really. I mean, certain ones I am, but I prefer dead silence. Like
Like
I'm
a psychopath.
Yeah, like a psycho. Like I just want to be like, leave me alone. Is I always sit with the makeup people, and I'm always like, I'm so sorry, guys. Just know that I'm gonna like zone out, because if I go quiet, everyone's like, what's wrong with her? She's usually like bouncing off the walls. So yeah, my zone out time is like my ritual is kind of like I just like want to be left alone and like have peace.
What'd you think of Coachella?
I liked it. It was cool. Like I haven't been to a festival in like years. Definitely like really hot and long days. And I very much, I think I over like prepared. Like I was on TikTok leading up going like tips and tricks to this thing, and I bought all this stuff and I was like, I didn't need any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I forget that like online's always like turned up a bit. Yeah, but it was good. It was fun.
I thought Benson Boone stole all the performances.
Oh, his voice is crazy. Yeah.
Insane. And the backflips he's doing on there.
Right? He's epic.
Who else were you blown away by?
I love T-Pain. T-Pain was great. I felt like I was like back in high school listening to his music, so that was cool. Yeah.
And you stayed for Green Day too?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like I tapped out early most of the nights. I was so tired. But again, too, I'm on like a different time zone too. So I think like by the time the headliners were coming on, it's like my like 2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah. So and I flew straight from work to here. So like I was like just struggling to get through most of the days.
So this is just downtime for you right now?
Yeah. Yeah. A very rare weekend off because we had a taping schedule that was a bit different this week. So it's rare, but I was like, shit, I got like 5 days off. I better go to Coachella.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go to Mardi Gras tomorrow. Do you know where else you go like throughout the month?
Yeah, so we have the show. The shows are always announced on like AEW. So
But like are you good at that kind of planning?
oh yeah, I love it because I'm a big foodie, so I like to plan in advance to go eat. Yeah, I like to go to dinner like the night before usually, go find like the cool restaurants in the different cities and
It's
stuff.
funny. I'm a huge foodie too.
Yeah.
I got these half-pound brownies sent to me, and I figured because you're a bodybuilder, you probably appreciate them.
Oh, half-pound brownies? Like
They're-
that big?
They're huge.
Oh shit, where from?
Buckeye brownies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is it? Is it in LA?
I don't know. Someone just sent them to me.
Oh, they just sent them? Yo, send me the brownies. Bring them.
Where's your favorite foodie spot?
I'm a big seafood person. So I love fresh seafood. So I can't say that there's like a particular like that's my place kind of thing.
Are you going to stop for a good po' boy?
What's a po' boy?
In Mardi Gras. Oh, it's like a fried fish sandwich.
I've never had that.
It's so good.
What? See, God, look at me still learning. Whenever I go there, I always have, what's it called? The beignets?
Yeah, beignets.
Beignets, that's the one. And also, fuck, the other thing that is like, sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. The
pastry thing? No,
that's the beignet. It's like a soupy kind of thing. Spicy.
Gumbo,
that's the one. Yeah, I love gumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good too.
Can we go back to AEW?
Yes.
So how do you turn 15 seconds or 30 seconds of TV into the most possible that you possibly can?
I think that one thing that I was taught like early on was that you only get given a certain amount of time to make the most of everything. So like it's important to make those seconds count, you know? So I think I always try and do any segment within my mind, the thought process of, okay, what can I do to make this different or make people remember it? So I think like whether it be the way I deliver something or the cadence of my voice or something of that nature, you can say one thing 1,000 different ways, and I think that it's important to do it in a way that is remembered. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Was there a moment for you that you really felt like you won the audience over?
I mean, I will say when I started having matches and people were like cheering my feel the wrath, and in those moments I thought, oh shit, they fucking like they're into this. It's like, it was a really nice feeling. It's nice to go, oh, like you guys are like enjoying what I'm doing, which was like really heartwarming, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely like hearing the audience do that, or like seeing like feel the wrath signs in the audience, like, or like mini Monet like signs in the audience. That was definitely in those moments you go, oh, this is cool. I'm connecting to people, and it's like awesome.
You used to train with Mercedes.
Yeah, we've trained together. Yeah, at Flatbacks and everything, and the AEW ring.
What is it like now, like performing with her?
It feels surreal, like it really does. Again, like I grew up like a fan of like so many of these amazing women that I work with now, and she's, you know, an absolute legend. So it is crazy to get to work with her, and I definitely am like, holy shit, like there's pinch me moments, you know. And I would say the same thing about like when I was with Soraya at the same time. I was like, those are two women that I like idolized, and like just like I never in a million years imagined that I would have the opportunity to be in the ring with these people. So it's definitely like, it's wonderful, and it's really rewarding, and it's like nerve-wracking because like I'm like, shit, I got some like big shoes to like stand next to right now, and like it's cool.
Soraya talks so highly of you.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her so much. That warms my heart. I just was with her all weekend. I love you, baby. I love her so much. We just had the best time.
Do you say that you have a work wife at AEW?
God, I got a few. I hang off everybody. I call Statlander. I call her daddy. I don't know why, but I'm always jumping on her back, and she's carrying me around work almost every day. I love you, Stat Daddy. She's definitely. But I'm so close with like so many of the women. They're all awesome, so I get along with everyone, and everyone's great. But yeah, Stat and I usually are like always messing around together, being silly. I love it.
Is there any locker room leaders that you've kind of just learned anything from that really stuck with you?
Gosh, I mean, I wouldn't say locker room leaders in the way of like, there's definitely not one person that walks in and it's like, hey, this is the way it is. But there's people obviously that are there that are like have been in the business for so long, and or just working you know, in television or in wrestling, and there's a lot of respect. So I feel like it's more like we have a lot of really accomplished people around us that are really respected, and you kind of like see how things operate from them. And I wouldn't say there's one person in particular that I'm like, that's that person.
Right.
There's a lot of people that would fall into that category, I'd say. Yeah.
What do you think was the most shocking thing about performing on TV?
Gosh, in the wrestling sense,
Yeah.
I think just like I feel like a lot of people like don't know like that it's a lot of what we do is very like real and very serious, and like it's high risk, and it's like there's a lot that goes into like the fact that we're doing like a live television show and there's like a lot of moving parts. And I think that there's, I don't think people know and understand how many like different parts are in this machine. So I think like there's 10 million things to think about at every time you're out there. It's not like just one thing. You got to like really be aware of like times and the fact that like certain cameras are here and there and like just like taking care of each other and like all of that comes into the one moment. So it's like a brain overload in a way.
Do you love that kind of environment?
I love it. And it's also something that like is still like, you know, I'm still learning. I'm learning on live television, which is crazy, but it's like, it's been cool because I'm in the deep end. So I've had to like really learn on the deep end, and it's been a good way to push me though, you know? So like nothing's ever perfect, but if I ever do something wrong or make a mistake, it's cool because I'm like, okay, well, that was a learning process and now I know not to do that. And so there is like something very special about like knowing that you cannot go out there and like mess up because there's a lot of things that like can go wrong and you have to like really just bring it, you know?
Do you watch yourself back just to see?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I watch myself back to like to analyze really. Yeah, it's funny. I actually have a friend who's like, I use their YouTube Premium sometimes, and he's always saying to me, he's like, Jesus Christ, you like search yourself again today. And I was like, I just want to see the match back. I swear to God, I'm not a narcissist. He's like, oh Jesus. But I love to watch it back and pick it apart, and I will do that with like my coaches and like the producers and everything, because it's important to do that, to like grow and to be better. Like I personally think anyway, but like I love to pick it apart. I'll do it straight after, and then I'll never watch it again, you know, like, because I'm not really thrilled on watching myself, believe it or not, if you can believe it. But I always like want to like see, okay, what could I have done better?
Because that's how you really learn.
Yes, 100%. And it's important to like look back and go, oh shit, like I didn't do that very well, or I didn't deliver that very well. Like, so I think it's important to like study things and like want to change and develop.
How do you think you are as a wrestler now to when you first started?
I'll forever be learning and wanting to be better, but I definitely feel different, and I can see my confidence has grown like exponentially, which is nice to watch back. I watched my first match ever, and I laugh because it's like, oh shit, look at this scared girl, and she was like, you can see how timid I am and everything, and it's been nice to watch myself like kind of like find my comfortability. Yeah. And I'm still doing that. It's still a long way to go.
If you have like a banger idea, do you have Tony's number that you could just text him and be like, hey, should we try this?
Oh gosh, no. No. But I will say Tony is literally the most kind, approachable, wonderful boss, and he is someone who makes you like feel comfortable with communicating with him, and he's always like so enthusiastic, like, and he's always like there watching the matches, like genuinely he's always there, like he's always there watching. Afterwards he always like communicates with us all, thanks us all. He's like a really great guy, so he gives, you know, if I ever felt like I needed to talk to him, he definitely allows us to know that he's the kind of guy you can talk to. He's a really, really great guy. Yeah, that's
so cool to hear.
Yeah, he's awesome, and like I just think how cool it is to have such a cool boss. You know what I mean?
If you could have any dream match with anyone on the AEW roster currently, who would it be?
Oh.
And is there a stipulation?
Gosh, I've been in the ring with most people now, but I would say that there's a lot of people that I like that I felt like have brought out great things in me that I would like to explore again. Like again too, I felt like my match with Mercedes in Australia was just so wonderful and fulfilling, and she really like pushed me to like different limits and like helped me find new ways of confidence within the work that I do. So I would obviously love to always be back in there with her again. I've been lucky to be like working side by side with her, which is very cool too, but like I really enjoyed being in the ring with her also. So I would love to do that again at some point for sure.
Was that a trip going back to Australia and doing the new thing that you found in America back there?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's like, it's funny though, because I will say they caught me after my match with Mercedes and like for an interview, and it was just genuine emotion coming out, because I was like, holy shit, like I left with no idea what I was going to do, and I came back and I got to have this moment in front of all my friends and all my family, in front of like so many, like thousands and thousands of people, and like hearing people like like chant my name and like that feeling in that rush. And I thought in that moment as I was walking out, I was like, all that sacrifice and the fear of the unknown all paid off. And like nothing will take away from that moment for me. It was like the coolest moment of my life to go, it all turned out okay. And I'm so like glad. I wish I could go back to younger me and be like, this is going to be like the hardest thing you ever do. It's going to be really lonely. It's going to be like stressful. It's going to be a lot of tears, but it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could have found wrestling earlier?
I wish I had. I wish that there was I didn't even think it was a possibility as a career to pursue because I knew I didn't have the work ability. And also, again, too, until I moved to America, I hadn't even seen a wrestling show in person until I moved to the country.
In Florida.
Yeah. And then when I moved here and saw it in real life, I like instantly in that moment was like, I'd always watch it on TV, but I never watched it and thought, I want to do this one day because you don't think you can. Like, not for me anyway. Like, I came and then I watched it in person. I still remember it was a very small independent show I went and saw. And I, in that moment, was like, I want to do this. And holy shit, like, I'm in a country where this could be a serious career. I don't know how I'll get there, but I'm here, you know? And it was definitely like a light bulb moment. And I was like, oh my God, like, I know it's like so out of the scheme of anything I've ever done, but I think if I work hard enough, maybe I could do it, you know?
What else do you want to accomplish in wrestling?
I really just want to continue to grow and like learn from other people and what, you know, just be the best I can be. And I know that sounds corny, but I really, really want to just give my all to this like life and like know that one day later in life I look back and like feel like I accomplished everything I wanted to, and I think that's only going to come with time. So I just want to, you know, commit my life to this because it's what I love, and I want to know that I just did everything possible so that I can look back and say I don't have any regrets, you know.
What do you think of the AEW fandom?
Oh, it's crazy. They're great. I love, yeah, like honestly, like, I mean, I'm not a huge person when it comes to like online, like looking at stuff online and that kind of thing. Like in Australia, Twitter's not even like, no one has Twitter. So like I've been learning how to use Twitter the last few years. I don't think I've ever written on Twitter. I just reshare photos. So like I need to get better at that.
You blew up all over my Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know these algorithm things, and I don't know that, but I do know like that, like, it's the community online is like very like, you know, passionate about wrestling, and it made me go like, oh shit, like I should probably get better at understanding this system, because everyone's like very, very passionate and opinionated, but I've kind of like stay a little bit away from it just because I've to be honest, like I know that there's a lot of bullying and like criticism that comes being in this industry. So I kind of have always just kept like what I like to think is like a healthy distance with like reading too much on the internet. But hopefully things are positive.
They have been.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's nice. Yeah.
A lot of people too have professed their love to you.
Oh my gosh.
Are you dating out in Florida now?
Am I dating? Oh, yeah, I might be seeing someone, yeah.
We can cut this part out.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So if anyone wanted to shoot their shot, they're not able to.
I will just say I'm very wrestling focused right now. My one true love is wrestling right now. But yeah, no, don't be sliding in my DMs.
Are you a big Vegemite person?
Yes, I love Vegemite.
What is so good about it?
Okay, so this is a very, very important conversation. So Vegemite is what I like to think the comparison to be is like soy sauce. Right? So if you have sushi, right, you're going to have a drop of soy sauce on there, okay? You're not going to like douse it in the soy sauce. So people make the mistake of thinking like Vegemite you like eat in like large consumption or like in huge amounts. You don't. You got to think of it like this is like a soy sauce paste, if you will. So like it's meant to like enhance like the other flavor of the bread and the butter.
So do you wish that you had some Vegemite here in America?
I do. I have it. I order from an Australian site and it's in my cupboard. I have like 3 jars.
Oh, wow. So you bring it over.
Yeah. I don't really eat much bread though. That's the thing. But like I will like get those like 0 carb like wraps and put butter on it and the Vegemite. But if you want to try Vegemite or if you have a bad experience, you're doing it wrong. You need to get bread, fresh bread, a lot of butter, and then the equivalent of soy sauce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a little schmear.
What's your thoughts on a Tim Tam Slam?
Oh, I love a Tim Tam Slam. Bite each end, suck through the tea. Yeah, I used to get a cup of tea and do that. I haven't had Tim Tams in a while though. It's been pretty good. But that's great. That's one of our Australian traditions.
What is the Australian mecca of the animals? Is it a koala, a kangaroo, or a hedgehog?
I would say, I mean, everyone says the koala, but they're quite mean. They're very grumpy.
Have you ever had an encounter with one?
Yeah, many times. Yes.
Do they claw you?
Oh yeah, they're
Really?
they're very grumpy and not like pleasant. So I mean, they look cute, but they're like kangaroos can be lovely. There's a place you can go lay with them in Australia. Lay with the kangaroo. It's called Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, and they're just all laying down. I've laid with them and petted them. That's lovely. And then you got the big savage ones in the wild that see fighting. So it's a mixed bag. But I think kangaroos generally are the nicer animal. Yeah, I love a platypus. You know what a platypus is?
That's not Australian, is it?
Yeah.
With the tail?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I like the platypus. That's probably my favorite.
For some reason, all I think about Australia now is that movie Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. That movie was filmed in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big rom-com girl, so I kind of watched it and was like,
Do you remember that a guy got attacked in the Sydney Harbor by a bull shark?
oh, I mean, people get attacked all the time, but if you said this is it there a specific attack that you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no.
probably not.
So, I mean, literally, gosh, so I grew up, surfing in, Snapper Rocks, which is where they used to have the Roxy and Quicksilver Pro, and, it's where it was the biggest, surf competition every year in Australia, and it was on this break, because it's, such a good break. I don't know if it is anymore, but, when I was in high school, I even did surfing as a class in high school. So, I was in the ocean a lot, and,
During school.
yeah, one of my classes in high school was surfing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and we used to get on a bus and they'd take us and we go surf, and that was the class. So I grew up around that surfy kind of environment, and there was a lot of sharks all the time. And I remember I think someone got attacked at one of the surfing comps during the competition on TV. Yeah.
Completely normal.
Yeah, I don't want to say the wrong person. It could be Mick Fanning, maybe, but that was where I grew up surfing. And I was like, oh well, someone just got attacked. So a lot of attacks happen.
Isn't Seal Island there too?
Seal Island?
Yeah, I think that's Australia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it an island of seals?
Yeah.
Shit.
And it's known for shark attacks.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about it, but I love seals. So
Yeah.
I wish I need to find out about this. I once kissed a seal.
That's cool.
Yeah, at SeaWorld. I got picked to go up the front and do the thing, and then the lady said he's going to kiss you. And as it went like this, I went like this. We touched. And I kissed it on the mouth.
So what's next for Harley Cameron?
More seal kissing. I just honestly more wrestling. I really want to dive in and focus on this. Honestly, I'm just wrestling crazy, to be honest. So I just want to keep on doing my thing and, getting better and learning and growing and so on. So I'm tunnel vision with wrestling currently.
If you got an action figure, what would that mean to you?
Oh, it'd be fantastic. I would love that. That'd be a very cool thing to, again, one of those monumental things to go, look, Mom, I made it. Yeah. I'd send it to my parents and be like, I know you're 70, but play with my doll.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Lightweight's out. That was so good.
Thank you, love.